Hey there designers! Renee here with a new Photoshop tutorial that really puts this week's textures and patterns to work. We'll be layering in a bunch of textures, masking and coloring patterns, picking apart vector patterns, and utilizing a ton of Photoshop basics. Follow along with this tutorial by downloading the freebies and source files at designcuts.com. Open Photoshop and go to File New. In the dialog box, enter a width of 5 inches, a height of 8 inches, and a resolution of 300 ppi. I'm going to keep my file in RGB so we have all of our original color information intact, but we would probably need to convert the finished piece to CMYK for printing purposes. Name your file, then click OK. In the Layers palette, click on the Create a New Group icon. Double-click the name of the layer in the Layers palette and change the name to Background Teal. Now click on the Create a New Layer icon at the bottom of the Layers palette. Double-click on the foreground color swatch at the bottom of your toolbar and enter CMYK values of 76, 20, 8, and 0. Press OK, then press Option Backspace to fill the new layer with the teal color. Next, we'll add some texture to the background. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Bohemian 4. Then click Place. Hold Shift while clicking and dragging out on the corner handles to enlarge the image until it fills the entire artboard. Then press Enter to complete. Change the blend mode to luminosity and the opacity to 50%. Now go to File, Place Linked, and this time we're going to navigate to Mint Craft Paper 5. Again, use the corner handles while holding Shift to enlarge the image proportionally until it fills the artboard. Press Enter when done. At the top of the Layers palette, change the blend mode to Multiply and leave the opacity at 100%. Now in the Layers palette, click the Create a New Group icon and name the new group Coral Border. Click the Create a New Layer icon. Double-click on your foreground color swatch and change it to a CMYK value of 3, 93, 72, 0. Then press OK. Press Option Backspace to fill the new layer with the coral color. Now go to File, Place Linked. Navigate to Hand-Drawn Patterns 13. Press Place, then drag out the corner handles while holding down Shift to fill the artboard. Change the blend mode to Soft Light and the opacity to 50%. Next, we'll mask the group to create a border. Select the Coral Border group. In your toolbar, select the Rectangular Marquee tool. In the options at the top of the artboard, choose a style of fixed size, then change the width to 4.75 inches and the height to 7.75 inches. Click once on the artboard and position the rectangular selection in the middle of the artboard by dragging your mouse left and right or up and down until you're centered. Go to Select Inverse. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Add Layer Mask icon. Now create a new group and name it Gold Border. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Authentic Gold 13. Then click Place. Hold Shift and use the corner handles to rotate the image 90 degrees, then drag out the handles to fill the artboard. We'll be masking this one as well. Select the Gold Border group in the Layers palette. Then select your Rectangular Marquee tool. Change the width to 4.5 inches and the height to 7.5 inches. Click once on the artboard to create a rectangular selection and use your mouse to center it vertically and horizontally. At the bottom of the Layers palette, hit the Add Layer Mask icon. Select the mask we've just made by holding Command and clicking on the thumbnail of the mask in the Layers palette. Go to Select, Modify, Contract, and enter 50. Then click OK. Press Command Backspace to fill the selected area with black, which masks it out. Now we'll create a dotted border around the outside edge of the teal section. Select your rectangle tool, change the tool mode to shape and the size to 3 point. Change the stroke type to the dotted line, and in the same dialog box under Align, choose the middle option, which will center align the stroke on the shape. Now we'll just draw out our shape on the artboard, following the outer edges of the teal section. In your Properties palette, click on the stroke color and change it to a CMYK value of 51789.0. In your Layers palette, create a new group and name it Top Corners. Create a new layer in this group. Select your rectangular marquee tool, change the style to normal, then hold Shift and draw a large square. The exact size is not important. Press Option Backspace to fill it with your foreground color. Then press Command D to deselect. Go to Edit, Transform, Rotate. Hold Shift and use the corner handles to rotate the square 45 degrees to form a diamond. Press Enter when you're done. Use your Move tool to drag the diamond to the top left corner. I have mine bleeding off the edge considerably. Select your rectangular marquee tool and drag your mouse across the top left corner area. With the selection in place, press Command J to copy the selection onto a new layer. Go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, then use your Move tool while holding Shift to drag the new corner section to the right of the artboard. Combine the two corners into one layer by pressing Command E. Now go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Hand Drawn Seamless Pattern 15. Press Place. Make sure the image covers the top corner sections, then press Enter. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Effects icon and choose Color Overlay. In the dialog box pop-up, change the blend mode to Lighten and keep opacity at 100%. Click on the color swatch and change the CMYK values to 0, 63, 99, 0, then press OK. In your Layers palette, hold Command and click on the thumbnail for the corners. Press the Add Layer Mask icon. Then turn off the corner layer by clicking the eye icon to the left of the layer name. Double-click Effects under the layer name and choose Drop Shadow. Change the opacity to 35%. Then change the distance and spread to 0 and size to 16. Press OK when done. In your Layers palette, duplicate the top corners group by dragging it down to the Create a New Layer icon. Rename the copy Bottom Corners. Go to Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical, then use your Move tool to drag the new corners to the bottom of the artboard. Now we'll start on our main title section. Create a new group and name it Main Title. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Wreath 4. Press Place, then use the corner handles while holding Shift to very slightly reduce the size of the wreath to fit between the edges of our gold border. It's okay if the leaves on the far sides overlap a little bit. Drag that layer into the new group. Then go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Element 77. Hold Shift while dragging the corner handles in to reduce the size of the elephant until it fits comfortably centered inside the wreath. with his trunk overlapping the flowers a little bit. Now we'll add some background behind the elephant. Press D to change your foreground color to black, then X to toggle to a white foreground. In your Layers palette, create a new layer in the main title group and drag it below the wreath layer. Name the layer White Circle. Select your brush tool and choose the hard round brush. Change the size to 900 pixels and reduce the opacity to 20%. As you can see, the brush will almost fill the entire size of the wreath. Click once inside the wreath area to get an idea of the size and opacity. Now continue to click the brush in the same general area, but moving slightly each time to create a soft edge. Now we need to give our elephant some ground to walk on. Go to File, Place Linked, navigate to Winter Watercolor Background 18, then press Place. It only needs to be large enough to cover the entire wreath area. Press Enter when you're done. Click on the Effects icon at the bottom of the Layers palette and choose Color Overlay. In the dialog box, choose a blend mode of color and opacity of 100%. Click on the color swatch and in the color picker, enter a CMYK value of 82, 7, 100, 0. Press OK when you're done. We're going to use the magic of masking to reveal just the sections we want for our ground. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Add Layer Mask icon. Now click on the Layer Mask thumbnail on the Winter Watercolor layer and press Command Backspace to fill the layer mask with black, hiding all of the Winter Watercolor for now. Now press X to toggle your foreground color to white, then select your brush tool. Change your brush opacity to 100%, then click a couple of times in the bottom left area of the wreath to create a background hill for our elephant. Now we'll change to a soft round brush and reduce the opacity to 20%. Click a few times around the edges of the wreath to bring some of the green color into the sky area behind the elephant. In the Layers palette, hold Command and click the white circle thumbnail to create a selection around that area. Go to Select Inverse, then press Command Backspace to fill the selected area of the layer mask with black. Now we'll repeat this basic process to create a second hilly area. Drag the Winter Watercolor layer down to the Create a New Layer icon to duplicate it. Select the Layer Mask thumbnail on the new duplicated layer and press Command Backspace to fill it with black. Select your brush tool. Since it's already set to soft round brush at 20 opacity, we'll start by clicking around the edges of the wreath to bring in more of the green color to the sky. Change your brush to hard round and the opacity to 100%. Then click in the area directly behind and under the elephant's feet. In the Layers palette, hold Command and click the white circle thumbnail. Go to Select Inverse. Press Command Backspace. And to create some contrast between our hills, we'll add an adjustment layer to our background hill. Click on the first Winter Watercolor layer. In your Adjustments palette, click on the icon for Brightness Contrast. In the Properties, click the icon to clip the adjustment to the layer below it, then change the brightness to around -60. We'll create the title in Illustrator. It's possible to get a similar effect in Photoshop, but Illustrator will give us more control over individual letters. Open Illustrator and go to File, New. Letter size is fine, we're just using this for general workspace, and I'm going to change my units to inches. Select your Ellipse tool, and hold Shift while dragging out to create a large circle around 4 inches in diameter. Mostly out of habit, I'm going to use my Align icons to center it horizontally and vertically. Now go to Object, Lock, Selection. This circle is just a guide for us. Select your type tool, click once on the artboard, and type Ravi. Change the font to Horsewallop Bold Wide at 140 point. Go to Effect, Warp, Arc, and enter a bend of 15%. Then press OK. Next, go to Object, Expand Appearance. Then choose Object, Transform, Rotate, and enter an angle of 12 degrees. And click OK. Position the word so that the last letter is about in the middle of the circle. Now we'll use the Group Selection tool to move individual letters. To add slight rotation to individual letters, select them with the Group Selection tool, then press V to change to the regular Select tool and use the corner handles to rotate. To select the next letter, you'll have to switch back to the Group Selection tool. We just want our letters roughly forming the shape of the circle while staying somewhat upright. Select your Type tool again and type Makes Friends. Change the font size to 60 point. Double-click Friends to select it and press Option and the up arrow several times to tighten the leading. Now go to Effect, Warp, Arc, and this time we'll enter a bend of 10%. Then go to Object, Expand Appearance. Now go to Object, Transform, Rotate, and we'll enter negative 30 degree angle. Position Makes Friends next to Ravi, and manually adjust the rotation if needed. Now we'll adjust a few of the letters to better conform to the circular shape. Remember to use the Group Selection tool to select a letter and move it, but switch to the regular Select tool to access the corner handles that allow you to rotate. Back out a little to make any final adjustments. Use your Select tool while holding Shift to select both sets of words. Once you're happy with it, go to Edit, Copy. Go back to the main layout file in Photoshop and go to Edit, Paste. And click OK to paste as a smart object. Use the corner handles while holding down Shift to resize as needed until it fits comfortably at the top of the wreath. To color the title, click the Effects icon at the bottom of the Layers palette and select Color Overlay. Click the color swatch to bring up the color picker and enter a CMYK value of 51789.0. Press OK, then choose a blend mode of Lighten. On the left side, select Drop Shadow. Click on the color swatch and in the color picker enter a CMYK value of 711050, or you can use the eyedropper to select a darker teal from the artboard. Change your opacity to 50%, your distance to 12, spread to 5, and size to 0, then press OK. Rename the layer Ravi Makes Friends. Some of the wreath is obscuring letters in the title in such a way that makes it hard to read, so we'll mask that section out. Select the wreath layer and click the Add Layer Mask icon at the bottom of the Layers palette. Hold Command and click on the thumbnail for the Ravi Makes Friends layer to create a selection around the words. Select your brush tool, press X to toggle your foreground color to black, and press the left bracket several times to reduce the size of your brush. Brush over any areas of the wreath that obscure letters, but only if it's making it hard to read. Some degree of interaction between elements is nice. Press Command D to deselect and brush over any additional elements. Now click the color swatch and use the eyedropper to sample the yellow from the main title. Select your type tool, click once on the artboard under the wreath, and type by J. Chakrabarty. Change the font size to 20 point. Use your Move tool to center the text under the wreath. We're going to copy the effects from the main title. Hold Option while clicking and dragging the effects to the new text layer. Double-click Drop Shadow. Set the distance to 8 and spread and size to 0. Now we'll go back into Illustrator. Go to File, Open, and navigate to the tribal patterns. We just want to use this single line of triangles. Select your Group Selection tool and click on part of the triangle section to select it, then click again to select the entire group. Go to Edit, Copy. Now I'll move over to an empty spot off the artboard and go to Edit, Paste. Hold down Option while dragging to the right to make a copy that sits against the far right edge of the group. Drag your mouse across all the triangles to select them and go to Edit, Copy. Back in Photoshop, create a new group above teal background and name it Decorative Lines. Press Command V to paste and click OK. Drag the line of triangles to the bottom of the artboard and size to fit inside the gold border. Change the layer name to Bottom Deco Line. And make sure it's within our new group. Duplicate the layer by dragging it into the Create a New Layer icon. Rename the new layer Top Deco Line, then use the Move tool while holding down Shift to move it to the top of the artboard. This is a good time to make adjustments to the placement of the main title section if needed. Now we'll add some little birds to these empty areas on either side of the author name. Go to Illustrator and open the Little Clouds Colorful Seamless Patterns. Zoom into the birds in the middle of the artboard. Use your Group Selection tool and click twice on the pink bird to select the group. Go to Edit, Copy. Then move over to an empty space and paste the bird. Press V to switch to your main selection tool, then use the corner handles to rotate until the bird is upright. Go to Edit, Copy, then go back to your main layout file in Photoshop and press Command V to paste as a smart object. Drag the pink bird to the left of the author's name, then press Enter to place. Now we'll repeat for the yellow bird. In Illustrator, use your Group Selection tool and click twice on the yellow bird to select the group. Go to Edit, Copy, then move over to the empty space and paste the bird. Press V to switch to your main selection tool, then use the corner handles to rotate until the bird is upright. Go to Edit Copy, then go back to the main layout file in Photoshop and press Command V to paste as a smart object. Drag the yellow bird to the right of the author's name, then press Enter to place. Rename the layers Pink Bird and Yellow Bird respectively. Create a new group and name it Birds, then drag the two bird layers into it. We'll need to add some texture to the birds so they can blend in with the style of the piece. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Bohemian 3. Then press Place. Drag down a little, it only has to cover the birds. Hold Command and click on the pink bird thumbnail to create a selection, then hold Shift and Command to click the yellow bird thumbnail and add it to the selection. Then click the Add Layer Mask icon. Select the Bohemian 3 thumbnail and change the blend mode to Overlay. Our corners seem awfully bright and clean compared to everything else, so let's add a little texture to these. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to JGT Ink Wash 20. Press Place, then use the corner handles to enlarge the image to fill the artboard. Press Enter when you're done. Make sure to drag this layer to the very top of the Layers palette. Now we'll mask the texture so it only affects our corners. In the Layers palette, hold Command and click once on the layer mask of the top corners group, then hold Shift and Command and click on the layer mask of the bottom corners group. Then click the Add Layer Mask icon. Click on the Effects icon and choose Color Overlay. Select a blend mode of Lighten and change the color to 778 100 0 and press OK. Change the blend mode to Multiply and the opacity to 70%. That gives us a nice subtle texture over just the corners. Finally, go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Scratch Textures 23. Press Place, then hold Shift and use the corner handles to rotate 90 degrees and enlarge the image to cover the artboard. Press Enter to complete. Then change the blend mode to Overlay and the opacity to 20%. And we're done! We have a rich, colorful kids' book cover. I feel confident that Little Robbie the Elephant has found lots of success on his quest for friends. Whether it's your outcome for this tutorial or something new, head over to our Facebook page and share it with us. Let us know what you think in the comments below and give us a thumbs up if you like the tutorial. We love your feedback. Subscribe to our new YouTube channel at youtube.com/designcuts to get more video tutorials and regular updates, or visit us at designcuts.com. Thanks for watching. Till next time!